What's up guys, Elbareth here, and today I am bringing you a special video. This is my guide to getting gold in the Mogu'shan Palace Challenge mode. I will be doing a guide for almost every single one of these. If you have one in particular that you're struggling or something, leave a comment and I'll get to that quicker. Otherwise, I'm just going to do it in the order that I have my videos placed in. But anyways, this video is going to include, the pulls you should use, pots, invis pots, the types of CCs, comps maybe that you could use, and other tips and tricks so you can get that, sweet ass gold transmog. Hope you enjoy. So this first pull is pretty important. It's going to be a double pull. We're going to pull both packs. When you first start out, make sure you don't pull that pack on the side. You don't need to pull anything else in this room except these two dudes right here. You're going to pull those through in the room, and then misdirect your tank here, or just let your tank pick them up into this room. We're going to be popping hero here, put down your traps, put down your CCs, anything. I'm going to use Binding Shot first. These ads need to be stunned right away so your tank and healer can get caught up on stuff. After that, my mage puts down his ring, and then my priest feeders them. Really important that you avoid that lightning stuff on the ground right there. That really hurts. You also need to avoid the whirlwind in the middle, like right there. That really hurts, and it is a one-shot. Now, you bring those a little low, 10%, and then you pull them into the next room, which is right here. And in this next room, you do the same thing. You rotate stuns, rotate CCs on the mobs. You really don't want to separate them and not do any damage to them. You just want to balls out AoE them, because you don't have time to really pick and choose who you're killing. Again, avoid that wind, the whirlwind stuff, and the lightning. Once these get to about 30%, you're going to pull them into the next boss, which has a little bit of a long RP, so it gives you plenty of time, gives your healer plenty of time to get mana, gives you plenty of time to switch specs if you want to. I actually do switch specs here. I switch to BM. I find it a little bit better on this boss. A little bit more burst. I'm going to save my burst, though. You'll see at the beginning. I'll save my burst for the second mini-boss. The first mini-boss, both of my mage and my shadow priest are going to use their burst in the beginning. Kind of makes the fight go a little bit faster. We got this down pretty well. On this first boss, though, there's nothing really to avoid. The dog randomly jumps on people and stuns them. All that does is lose DPS. It doesn't really hurt. Don't focus on the dog. You don't really need to cleave off him. Just burn down the main boss. I mean, if you are a class, though, that does benefit by multi-dotting, then go ahead and multi-dot to get your extra resource. But here, we just burn straight to the boss. You can see there, one of my members gets stunned. He can bop it right off, so it's no big deal. So if you do have a paladin, that stun is pretty... There's not even there, because you can bop it right off. Watch out for that shit on the ground, and you really shouldn't die to this boss. Any of these bosses, to be honest. So, moving on to the second boss, and this is where I'm actually going to use my burst cooldowns to get him down fast and to get on to the third one. There's really nothing too major about this guy except for this little tornado thing he throws out. That really does kind of hurt, and it also interrupts your DPS, which is the biggest part of challenge mode. So just make sure you watch out. Try and stay a little spread so you don't sweep anybody else up. As you can see here, I'm getting ready for that tornado to come out. And there it goes right there. Just need to really avoid it. It's just really annoying to get hit by and knocked out, because you do get knocked into the crowd and then they knock you back, and it's, just a loss of DPS that you don't need. But I'm burning him down here. We're just DPSing. I mean, really, the bosses in challenge modes are not the hard part. It's just glorified trash pulls, which is the hard part. Moving on to the third boss, the really only thing you need to worry about here is that he does a little meteor crush, and you do need to stack up for that, or it is going to hurt that person pretty badly. So we're spread out for now, just in case conflag goes out, because if conflag goes out and you're stacked up, it spreads and everybody else dies. Stay spread out, burn the boss really quickly, and then once that meteor thing comes out, stack on that person to, mitigate that damage. But really here, it's pretty easy. You're just DPSing the boss as fast as you can. Make sure you're not going to die, because, dying really slows you down. Healer's trying to conserve a little bit of mana. As you can see there, our mage actually gets saved. He gets conflagged. And conflag's pretty shitty when it spreads to a healer or whatnot. Just DPSing here. The boss is dead. Now this is time for you to switch back to specs, get mana if you can, because there is a little bit of time before that staircase goes down. And once the staircase goes down, you go through it, and we'll go on to the next pull. So this is the next pretty important pull. This is where we're actually going to be using our invis pots, so make sure you have those. We're going to go all the way down the staircase, and we're going to pull that scout, and we're going to pull both the mobs up the hallway and stop. We're not going to go to that ledge. We're not going to do anything yet. We're just going to go to those two mobs, stop, and make sure we kill them Now, you're going to see me put down a binding shot and other things. We do need to actually stun these. They do actually hurt the tank quite a lot, so make sure you have your stuns down, your rings, fears, and other CCs. Again, just AoE them, not really single target anything. AoE is the best option for this shit. You can just burn them down pretty quickly. I accidentally chased that scout up the hallway, which lost me some DPS, but no worries. DPS them here. You know, trying to stun them, conserve some mana. And then, I mean, this is really easy. You just DPS them. Once they get to a certain percentage and stuns and you have lockdown, you can see my DK just stun them there. Then it's not really a big deal. But you really need to make sure you don't pot on this pull or at the last boss. You need to make sure that you have your pot timer up for the invis pot, which you need to use fairly shortly. DPS him down. Put that ice trap to proc my lock and load. If you're a hunter, that's always a good idea on this. Gets him down pretty fast. Now I am spec survival for most of the rest of the fight because the most of these pulls are AoE pulls, and AoE or survival AoE is just far superior than to BM. Alright, we finish up here. I'm going to dismiss my pet because invisibility pots do not affect your pet, so if you have a pet, dismiss it or get rid of it because it will pull. Now we're going to wait here. Our tank's going to actually put down our timer. And then we're going to invis pot, and you're going to jump over this wall. This is honestly probably the hardest part of this thing is jumping over this damn wall. It always fucks people up. Now we're jumping over the wall. I'm getting my pet back. He's going to grip everything in, and we're going to CC the Hexer in there. And then we're just going to AoE the fuck out of these things. Now we actually did this boss pretty badly on this pull. We missed a lot of heals. So there's going to be an Oracle that heals everything there, and you need to interrupt that. We missed the interrupts quite a few times, which slowed us down. But as you can see, we do eventually get gold on this, so you can afford to miss the interrupts. But if you really do want a fast time, then you need to interrupt it. See that he gets healed up to almost full there. Now just keep AoEing, you know, go ham. Put down stuns and stuff when they're not enraged. That actually does stun them. It does reduce damage on your tank. Keeps your healer happy. Burn the iron thing down. Then we're moving on to the next one. Gonna burn him down. Every time he dies, the boss gets a little bit enraged, so it is kind of a soft enrage. You know, you don't want your tank taking too much damage. You don't want your healer running out of mana. But honestly, this fight's pretty easy once you get the heals down. He's gonna grip the Hexer in. I'm gonna start cleaving off him, burning the Hexer down. But I mean, apart from that Oracle, the only thing you need to worry about is the Hexer because it does put a debuff on people, which really sucks. Really reduces the amount of damage you can pull. But yeah, we these down pretty quickly. This is probably the make or break for gold mode in most groups, I think. If you don't get this down fast enough, you will have struggle to get gold. You will struggle on getting to the next boss and then getting down fast enough. Another ad dies, he gets enraged even more. Just make sure you're burning down the last ad and then burning him, and so your tank doesn't die. Your healer can conserve his mana. Now, once this boss dies, we are going to CC the 2 ads at the top of the stairs and run straight for the elevator. We're not going to stop for anything else, just going to go straight to the elevator. As you can see here, I'm dropping off early to put it on trap. My mage is going to sheep the other ad. We're going to burn down the boss. As the boss dies, we're all going to run straight past those things. I'm hitting aspect of the pack here, hopefully, I think. I'm pretty sure I hit pack. We got really screwed RNG-wise because that Pat's walking by. And we have to wait for them, which really sucks, but you know, that happens in challenge modes. You're always going to get fucked by RNG. So here we go, we're running straight for the elevator. I put on pack right there. Just gotta make sure we get on the elevator. I was actually a little nervous here, so I hit my rocket boots. I didn't know if I was gonna get on. Really wasn't necessary, but you know, challenge mode jitters. Now that we're on this elevator and we have that boss down, we do have a bit of time left, so we are kind of relaxed. We're kind of okay. We can probably get this. We're gonna run into this hallway here. Now, this is actually a pretty hard pull. Not the hardest of the instance, but this could break you. You have a bit of confidence going in. You got to make sure you can skip this pack here. So it's going to be an RNG thing again. Honestly, if that pack's walking towards you, you can probably pull it into the next pack. It is going to take a little bit of time to kill it, but all of these can be stunned and CC'd. So really, you're not going to take too much damage if you have a good stun rotation. We're going to pull these 2 in here to the next things in here. I'm going to misdirect them. I'm going to make sure I get a binding shot down right away. I need these things stunned right away to get everything locked away and scared away so my mage can actually put down his ring. We actually overlapped a stun there. My DK stunned and I stunned at the same time, which is kind of bad, but it didn't end up costing us. That was a poorly placed ring there. It only got one of them, but just AoEing the hell out of these things right now. My priest is going to fear here soon. just to get them from attacking the tank for a little bit. Now once these start to get a little bit low, I'm going to start to pull the dogs. I want these things a little bit lower. Actually, we probably could have pulled the dogs with this pack, but we were a little nervous about dying because this is the first time we're in this room, actually for challenge mode. So we just didn't know how it was going to work. And this is just testing the water. So we decided to play it safe and just kill this pack. Actually, you probably can pull the dogs. I want to go back and actually try that because the damage wasn't too high and, you know, we have pretty high AoE. We're going to DPS these dogs down. Now, what we should have done, actually, I think I really want to do next time, is actually pull the boss maybe with these dogs at maybe 50% instead of, you know, the low health that we did. Because honestly, these dogs are pretty easy. They don't really do that much damage, and if you have really good stun rotations, I mean, look at that. They haven't moved for almost 6 seconds. We're going to AoE these down. Now, once they get low and we kill a few of them, we're going to pull the boss immediately. And once the boss is pulled, you're just going to go absolutely apeshit on the boss and burn him down as fast as you can. We do have hero up, so we're going to pop hero as soon as the tank has the boss. Popping hero. You know, all your DPS cooldowns right here. This is go time. This is, you know, make or break for the gold challenge mode. I'm still in survival, so the DPS is going to be a little bad single target. We actually didn't do the cheese strat to where you can hit both crystals, which brings his health down but does a lot of damage to the raid. My tank, my paladin healer was screaming for it, and then my tank said no, we're fine on the time, so we didn't end up using that strat. If you do use that strat, though, it does cut down a lot of the time, actually get you a faster time. But here we're just concentrating on surviving. We know we have it in the bag, and we're just going to try and get gold. So here, avoid all the mechanics. You know, I know in heroics they don't really hit that hard, but in challenge modes they do actually do quite a bit of damage, and you can die if you stand in it. I know I was bad a little bit there, stood in something, but here you're just DPSing the boss. Make sure you don't die. You know, paladin or any healer, just use all your mana here. Keep the tank up. Don't die, because I mean, if you kill this boss, you pretty much got in the bag if you followed instructions. He's really low. The time's actually kind of close. We're cutting a little close because we messed up a few times, but you know, get a lock and load there. Pretty good procs. And he's getting a little low in health. Almost there. And there you have it. We're going to get gold here. You know, I think this is our third pull. Just really easy. And pretty fun, actually. So, that was gold in Mogu'shan Palace. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back later with another challenge mode guide. Stick around.